I'm still having fun playing with this FIGnition board. Posted a video last Friday when I got it. It comes in the mail's PC board with just all the components, and you solder it up yourself and get it working. It's pretty nice, a little 20 megahertz Atmega 168 with 8K of SRAM and 4 megabits of flash. And you can program it with these 8 little buttons with this funny input system. You can input all these characters with just these 8 buttons, and I had been programming it with that. Just today, though, now I've gotten bulk loading over USB working with a little tool from the PC. So, now that I can type much more easily in Vim here, this is FIG4, and that's what the thing runs. And so this is a little implementation of a logo. Okay? So, in Forth you store your code in screen-sized blocks. So I had this kind of strange goal of trying to get an entire logo working in one block. So the first thing up at the top here is the single block that implements logo itself, and the block below is some demo stuff, drawing spirals and things like that, like you do with logo. So let's give this thing a try. I wanted to also demo the little tool to transfer things. So first of all, there is a tool called, you're not going to be able to read that, are you? Called T2E2 that will take a text file and convert it to these hex files. So now I've got a bunch of hex files on my system, and that's what they look like. And so this is just the binary for this source. Okay, so you actually load source onto the thing and you compile it on the thing itself. You don't compile it on your PC and just send compiled code over. This is just to get the source itself over. So each of these hex files corresponds to one screen block of memory, which is a half a K or so. Actually, it's 25 by 20 characters, so it's 500 bytes. The way you transfer these things is with this tool here, AVR dude. You point it to one of these hex files and transfer it over. So on the device, you hold down this button while powering it on. Okay, I'm going to have to do this with the same hand I'm holding the camera, sorry. And this little red LED comes on. That means that it's in programming mode. And then now from the PC, press enter and you can see it loading into the EEPROM. And then now I can let go of the button, and on my screen, if I turn it on, come on. So on my screen, FIGnition has come up now, and what has happened is it's transferred that into the EEPROM. Now I need to load that into Flash, and so I'm going to load it into the block number 2 of Flash. In block number 1 I already have the logo. I'm just now going to load up the little demo programs into block number 2. So just on this little keyboard, it's really strange, put -2, and so on the screen it's got -2, and I'll sit and type here. -2 E D I, come on, I T. It's very hard to type on this little thing. I'm typing with just these little 8 buttons, it's kind of ridiculous. So anyway, you can edit this. What this will do is load from EEPROM into block 2. That's what negative numbers mean. So there's the code. It's the same code that we had in Vim over on the PC. And I can just write this out immediately without touching it. And it leaves a bunch of garbage on the screen, but don't worry about that. And I can load this. To load. L-O-A-D. And the second block actually loads the first block also. So it loads block 1, block 2, and then now we're ready to go. I can hit D, that's my little demo word that's defined in block 2. And it starts running demos. So this is one of the first demos, shows that the sign function is working. So that's one of the interesting things about writing this logo, is that there's no, trigonometry words, there's no floating point numbers in general. So I made a little sign function that uses fixed point fixed point numbers and has a lookup table. And so this is just demonstrating that is actually working properly. And the way the demos work is I just hit a key and it'll cycle through the demos. So the second one is demonstrating that now using that sine function I can draw lines in various degrees. Now to keep the table small, it actually only allows 6-degree increments. So there's 60 positions around the circle. So you can think of it as kind of like minute marks on a clock. So, you know, it's pretty slow. Really old machine. I mean, it's a new machine actually, but it's a really old school machine. So there you go, 60 lines. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and be quiet and let you enjoy the rest of the little demos. This is the last one. It's one of my favorites. So, the board again is called FIGnition, and you should look it up and have fun with it. It's a little 20 pounds costs. Nice cheap fun. I've been having hours and hours and hours of fun with this thing. I'm going to take the code for this logo, and first of all I'm going to post it on my blog. I'm also going to submit it back to the FIGnition project, so you should be able to get it there. Have fun!